Danny Sabol. Danny, I heard your story. I heard your story, and I had to share that story with our people, with our friends on Yonkers West, which you are one of them. Yes, you are one of them. Look, it was amazing how you reacted, how you saved somebody's life, and I need to share that with the rest of us, because we do cover positive stories,
Yes.
positive things.
Yes.
But this story has a double edge.
Yes.
One is to talk about what you did,
Yes.
and to suggest people what they should do,
Yes.
be able to do something like you.
Yes.
So tell us what happened at Giannis 2 nights ago.
Okay, so I went out to eat with my wife and my family, and I had realized that an elderly woman had begun choking on food, and she became unable to speak and to talk. So I then began to do the Heimlich maneuver on her, and it was able to dislodge the food that was stuck in her throat. I was able to sit there with her and speak with her to make sure that she could actually now communicate with me, where she wasn't able to communicate prior to me starting the Heimlich maneuver. And after that, she was able to then begin getting her color back, her ability to speak.
So Danny, sorry to interrupt, but when you look at her, what gave you the sign that she was in trouble? Did she change color? What happened?
So what was happening was this: I had some of the obvious signs of reaching for her throat. She was not able to speak when I tried to speak with her to initially see, what was wrong. She was going, changing. Her color was getting pale. Her lips were starting to get a little bit blue, a little cyanotic. It looked like she was having a problem breathing. And, I asked her, I said, are you having a problem? Are you choking? And she had, said yes. She had, said yes. And that's when I right away knew what to do.
Was she alone?
She was with her husband.
And what did the husband do?
The husband, he wasn't sure what to do, I think. I think that when things like this happen, I think people panic. So he just sat there with a little bit of, sort of terror.
Confused, don't know, nervous.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why we're here. It's to give him thanks in the name of all of us that are watching in Yonkers for doing what he did. He saved the woman's life. And the other side, the other point is to ask you guys to get a little training, because you are trained.
Yes.
And you work for who?
So for some time I was with the Ardsley Volunteer Ambulance Corp, and I was a driver and an aide there, but I had gone through first aid, CPR, and the Heimlich maneuver training, and they offer it there. You could call them, or you can go to various places around that offer this training for little to nothing. Just with this little bit amount of money that you spend, you could actually have the same training and wind up actually helping somebody, as opposed to...
And that someone that you might need to help could be the person in your household, your son, your daughter, your wife, your mother, whoever.
Yeah.
So spend a few dollars, even if it's 50, 100, 200, is well worth it.
Well worth it.
Being able to save somebody's life because you took a little training, guys, do it. Yes. CPR. Now that is the Narcan that's being given away. How does that work?
I believe that you can go to any pharmacy, and they'll just give it to you based upon just you asking them, is what I believe. And you also can go for Narcan training throughout various areas, agencies, and then they also there will give you a pack to take with you. And if you happen to ever see somebody who's ODing or overdosing, you'll have the kit with you, and you can right away start administering this drug that's really it's a life-saving drug.
So guys, I'm not saying go and get the Narcan and administer it to somebody who you see on the road, but I would suggest you get some training, learn how to use it, learn about how much should you administer it to somebody else. Get the know-how and get it. Put it in your car. You never know when you're going
Just
to need it.
don't know.
You could be walking on a beach, in sidewalk, Gary Square, Manhattan, whatever place you are, anywhere, and be able to save somebody's life. So get the training.
Yes.
Get in touch with Red Cross. Get in touch with your
Yes.
fire department.
Yes.
Get in touch with your first responders in the city that you live in.
Yes.
Ask them, where can I get CPR training? Where can I get, what's the name of the maneuver that I don't
So it's called the Heimlich maneuver. You want first aid, CPR, and so you get the Heimlich maneuver and CPR. And you want to make sure, I think the Heimlich maneuver is very important, but the real big one is CPR, because you just don't know if somebody's just gonna hit the floor ultimately. I hate to say it that way, and could ultimately be having a heart attack or whatever emergency that they could be having, and being able to perform CPR, even if you don't want to do breaths in the mouth, you could just blow into the mouth and do the chest pumps, which would keep the blood circulating through their body until ultimately more advanced life support is able to get there and take over. But you could ultimately help that person survive whatever ailment they're facing at that moment.
Now, let me add this. This is something that Danny told me just before we went live, that while this was happening inside the restaurant, there were 2 or 3 people there standing, workers or staff or whatever. They didn't do nothing. Now, I'm not saying that in a negative way, okay? Because sometimes people freeze, they get
panic,
scared,
yes.
they panic, they don't know what to do, they don't know, they're just there.
Yes.
To avoid that, get some training, okay? Learn how to do it. So that way, if somebody ever needs some kind of a help,
Yep.
you're trained to do it.
Yes.
How did the night end?
It was a beautiful night. I didn't expect this, and I didn't ask him, didn't want. I just do things out of because I like to help.
Yeah.
I reacted. I was able to do it. I wanted to help. The husband paid for my dinner. I have my.
Were you alone?
I was with my twin daughters and my wife.
Okay.
So that was a very big expense on his part that he didn't have to do. And after that, I mean, it felt great to go home. And even today, people are coming up to me saying, I heard that this happened, and great job. It's really something that you don't see often. Sometimes things turn out
not in a positive way.
Right.
Things
right.
don't go
So,
always the way we want it to
I
go.
can tell you, I feel in the last couple of weeks or so, I've had some really great luck happen to myself. So I feel really that this was sort of my giving back.
Danny, you were at the right place at the right time, and maybe there was a reason why you were here, to save
Yes.
somebody's life.
Yes.
Okay. And hopefully, because of this interview, Danny will be able to motivate you to get some training.
Yeah.
Actually, I never did personally, but now that I'm talking to Danny, I am going to take some training, because you never know, Danny.
This is worth it.
It's worth it. You never know when you're going to need it.
Yes.
And sometime that life that you might be saving might be somebody next to you. Could be
your cousin, your brother, your mother, your aunt,
or a stranger,
or
it
just a
doesn't
stranger.
matter. It's
Like,
alive,
Yeah, yeah. All right. It's a human, and they, we all deserve that fighting chance, and that's what we want to give. And the training it's not very difficult.
Yeah.
Once you learn how to do it, and, you try it out a couple times, obviously with trainers, which I got to do it, and they you get the hang of it. And once you get the hang of it, then you feel very comfortable doing it, and proper positions to put people in and to face them and so forth, to administer these maneuvers, like the Heimlich maneuver, like being able to do chest compressions with CPR, because most people don't realize how difficult it actually is to do CPR on somebody. Doing the pumps, after doing them for a while, you really it starts to hurt.
I've seen it. I have been on the scene,
I
Danny.
assume that you've been.
I've been on the scene
Yeah.
and seeing it.
Yeah.
And I see that sometimes they get tired and one has to leave and
To
somebody else
switch
has
out,
to come.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
it's something you should know.
Something that you should know, but is not as easy as you think.
Yes.
So a little bit of an investment in training
Yes.
doesn't hurt. Contact your local first responders. You
Yes.
can ask, and I'm sure they can guide you to where you can go get some training. I know that there is a place on Central Avenue because my wife actually took the training there and get her certification there. I don't remember the exact address, but there is one. But contact your first responders. And thank you to you, Danny,
Thank
for
you.
stepping forward. I am glad. This is the type of interview that I really enjoy, talking to the people of Yonkers that can relay the things that happen in Yonkers. And this is a positive story.
Yes.
Today we here happy he saved somebody's life. I'm here happy to hear him telling us how did that happen. And I'm here happy trying to motivate you to get the training that can help somebody else in saving a life out there. Danny,
Exactly.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
And
It's always
guys,
a pleasure.
those that are watching us, I always say, if you have a positive story that you need to put out there, something that can motivate others to do positive things, things that can benefit our community, our city, please reach out to us. Negativity, it's easy to come by, but positive stories don't come as good,
No.
as quick
No.
as the negativity.
They're not.
Everyone wants to be the first one to give you a bad news.
Yep.
But not too many people come forward and give you the good news.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if you have good news, if you want to talk to us, reach out. yv.support@yonkersvoice.com. Thank you for watching. We hope that we were able to motivate you. Go and get that training. Danny, let's together
Okay.
go and get that training.
Go and get
the
that
training.
training.
Till next time,
Okay.
guys.
Thank you, everybody.